62. And tomorrow we'll see a slight chance for showers and storms, otherwise partly sunny and a high around 78. The meteorologist Kyle Collector for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
With the Planet Fitness Black Card, you don't just get a great workout, you get a great perk out because your membership is packed with perks. For $1 down and $24.99 a month, you'll get perks like access to any of our 2,400 clean and spacious locations. Bring your friend anytime and both work out with tons of equipment that'll give you that big fitness energy. Relax in the Black Card spa and more. Work out and perk out with the PF Black Card. Join for just $1 down and $24.99 a month. Hurry.
This deal ends soon.
See Home Club for details.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey guys, it's your girl Jordan from Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Have an anniversary coming up? I've got you covered. Celebrate your love with the timeless elegance of jewelry. This anniversary, give the gift of sapphires, emeralds, rubies, or gold. Find the perfect piece that reflects the beauty and depth of your commitment. Whether it's your first anniversary or your 50th, surprise your loved one with a gem as beautiful and rare as she is. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement.
Strike three, you're out!
Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Last year, Linked Literacy's first annual Word Stock event welcomed 600 people to this community-wide book swap at Antelope Park. It was made possible by the generosity of our donors. Donations are needed for this year's event on August 24th to provide food trucks, table rentals, book bags, and more. This allows us to offer free books to the public for both kids and adults while enjoying all the fun and festivities to promote community connections. Give today by going to linktoliteracy.org. You'll be making an impact through the power of literacy.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! You're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NEPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Happy Monday, y'all, and welcome into another week of On the Block. Happy College Football Week 0. No Nebraska this week. Still a couple Saturdays away, but college football is officially back on the menu. Coming up later this week. Exciting stuff. We will talk plenty about that as we get on through the week. I'm Austin Norman. To my left, your right on stream, as always, Husker Hall of Famer, 9-year NBA vet, general good guy, Eric Strickland. Stricky.
Yeah, mate.
Hey, that text line has a recommendation for you.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What now? What did I do?
Mike says, hey, Strick, this stick with a Pinot Noir will change your day.
Oh, yeah. He
Pull
sent
the
the
text
picture?
line. Pull up the text line. Yeah. Is there. Just take notes.
Who is it? Who was it?
Mike. Mike just sent it in.
Let's see, Mike.
You want to text the show like Mike, 402-464-5685. We are taking your thoughts on what Matt Rule had to say this weekend all show long. Plenty more to get to as well.
Let me see.
You seeing it?
Yeah, I had to do a refresh. Yeah, it had all the craziness going on. Let's see, Mike, what you got? Oh yeah, bruh.
Strick already knows.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, all day. There's not a question. I'll tell you one of the best ones. It took me 2 days to smoke it in Aruba because it was so potent and strong.
Woo.
Like it's like
You're not a novice,
and I'm not. No, and I was like, wait a minute.
Hold up.
Let me put this back in. I got a travel case and humidor case and all. No, let me put this in here. Snip it off. 2 days.
Whew.
So, those authentic ones, what he got right there. Yes, sir.
You're about it?
About it all day. Yeah. Good. Hey, good call, my boy. You livened me up a little bit. I was kind of feeling, just a little, just a little down a little bit. Not down, but just, Monday. You know how Monday is.
It's Monday.
You get through the weekend, and I was kind of feeling, But you know what? You livened me up. I got it. Now I'm in it. I'm engaged.
Hey, if you want to liven up,
I felt like Tom Cruise when, I lost Goose. I felt like I lost Goose today. You were my Goose, and
I'm right here.
I'm sitting there. I'm getting shot at by all the MiGs, and
so
Goose,
I'm Tom Cruise, and
like,
you were Goose.
And I'm like talking.
So
to
I'm
Goose,
Maverick. You were Goose,
and you didn't say nothing, my boy.
Goose went down. You went down. I didn't. So I think I'm Maverick, and you're Goose here. So
see how they treat me.
We love Stricky,
my man. You guys.
We also love Nebco. Sponsoring
the
show. Check them out at nebcoinc.com if you're looking to start your new career. Today, they're hiring for constructors and general laborer positions and CDL drivers for ready mixed concrete. Hey, guess what? They will also pay for your CDL training if you're interested. So check them out, nebcoinc.com, readymixedconcrete.com, and constructorslincoln.com. A few NFL headlines before we get into the college football portion of the show in hour number 2. Stricky, did you see Patrick Mahomes go behind his back in the preseason game?
I did.
Are you surprised it took him this long?
I mean, for me, it's very similar to what we talk about in basketball, right? We talk about you've got to come back with something. Mm-hmm. You've got to understand that scouting goes to new levels. They're evaluating you. They're figuring out ways to minimize what you do best and do well. How we shut down lanes so that we don't give you no operating room, how we close pockets on you. I mean, we just start that just continues to get better as you continue to show greatness, right? And for me, it's just an addition of something that you have to consider and think about. And I love that about him. So when I looked at it, right, it's very it's very reminiscent of what I would see in basketball, where if you're coming off of pick and roll, they usually will either rotate a certain way, or you want to do a misdirection, which opens up something for another way, where the normal kickback to a Dirk would be. So there's a rotation, sometimes a quick fire rotation. So now you have to look at it and whip it across the way, right? Like, I still want you to think I'm working Dirk, but I'm really knowing I'm going there. I'm looking like that, and you're firing, and now you
go right behind your head.
Ooh, everything is right. That's what that was. All that was is, if you look at the defensive lineman, if he does traditional pass, if he does his sidearm pass, all of that gets knocked down. The angles was cut,
or intercepted,
right? The lineman was inside outing on Mahomes for whatever reason, not letting him cut back. He was inside outing. He was slow him. He was in position for angle. So there was no throw that was possible. To keep his hands down behind the back's the only thing that works. The minute he raises his hand this way to pass, hands go up. Now you've got to try to figure out how to get the ball there, but there's no chance for him to get it behind the back. And I loved it. And you can tell they practiced it.
I'm glad you brought that up. Do you believe Patrick Mahomes when he said the play was improvised?
No.
You calling cap?
I'm calling
full
cap. Now, maybe in that specific play.
In that specific moment, maybe?
In that specific moment, yeah. But I'm willing to bet you, based on what Andy Reid has said and based on, Andy Reid saying, yes, he can do those things as long as he completes the pass. That's quoted from him. So I believe that's something. But I also believe those types of situations just don't happen.
It looked too perfectly schemed. Like Kelsey had too much open space.
Yeah.
For it to be an accident.
Yeah. There's an understanding that this lineman's going to be free.
Mm-hmm. He's your responsibility.
A dump over doesn't work because these guys are too fast.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like you could do a short lob over the top of the guy.
And then Kelsey gets crunched.
He gets
no
killed.
Way to catch and run.
Nothing going. You do the sidearm. The angle was bad. And the defense was pretty much, so he could drop hands on that. And
you're thrown back across
your body. Dangerous. And anything else is no bueno. This is why I think it works. This is why you got 8 yards, because no one saw hand go high. That's what the teams are taught to look for. Linebackers are taught to look for it. Defensive linemen, everybody's taught to look for hand to shooting, to pocket, or even side. You're taught to look at those now. But to see something from behind, there's no way you really can pick that up.
No.
Yeah.
Especially because he's running to his right. He can keep the ball behind his hip, where you think it's obvious once he brings it up. But he did it so quick behind his back, it wasn't a full windup, didn't have to set his feet or anything. It was on the run.
It was just like a behind the back pass that you would see in the NBA.
What Andy Reid said, quote, they do it in basketball every game, several times in every game. So it's not that big a deal going behind the back. Which is funny because Mahomes was a guard in basketball. So he has plenty of experience going behind the back and manipulating the ball like that. I'm left with one of two conclusions here, Strick. Either it was improvised, it was not intentional, it was an accident, and Patrick Mahomes put it on film just for fun, or the Chiefs did practice it with no intention of ever using it and put it out there on film, just like you were saying, just to screw with teams' heads, because no other team in the NFL could get away with that. The Chiefs are still reloading from their back-to-back Super Bowl wins, but they are so confident in themselves that they're putting this not just out into the air, oh, we might try this, oh, Patrick's been practicing it, but they told him explicitly, throw it behind the back to give them something else to worry about. That is new levels of playing with your food.
And Brock's neighbor, Box neighbor, Box neighbor, shout out to the Boxster. Box neighbor says you can find video of them practicing that play at training camp. I mean, I think it's I think it's a good play. I think it's a different play. I just really understand it's a way to keep, as you said, multiple ways. You keep defensive linemen's hands down. There's just no way. Defensive linemen are not trained to expect that type of pass.
No one is.
No one is. You're trained to watch here to here when you're attacking. Think about that, right? Think about as a defensive lineman coming around. What are they attacking when they're coming around the edge, right? Like your Bosas and your Watts, and when they're coming around that edge, they're attacking here to here. But somebody that has an offensive player over there, and he does this behind the back. Come on, my boy, you're not. And then he gets it. No one, the linebackers are like, oh yeah, TJ's got him.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. And you see him do this. All you're thinking he's doing is just tucking it to
scramble. Maybe, yeah.
Maybe, if anything.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, he's got it. Maybe he's around the end. Like this, that's the craziness of it, of the possibilities of that play that changes, I think, a lot of stuff. Now, I don't expect it to be done regularly, but it puts people on notice.
It does. OG Les Lancaster, yes, saw the video of Kelsey mocking Mahomes' voice. That was pretty funny. And Rick from Wahoo, I think, really gets to that question, Strick. Why would Andy Reid show his trick plays already in the preseason? Don't you want to save that up for week one and beyond? That's what makes me think either they were told explicitly to do it on purpose to make teams at least have to go through it in film. Hey, here's the formation. Here's where this tackle did, with no intention of using it. You think about Mahomes' left-handed flip to whatever receiver it was against the Broncos in one of his first starts. Right?
I think that's improvised.
That was improvised.
Yeah.
But there's been so much talk about, it's only a matter of times until Mahomes goes behind the back. He's the only quarterback that'd be able to pull it off. I think Andy Reid is leaning into that, saying, you guys asked for it. Here it is. I don't think the Chiefs have any plans to use this. Why would you do that? Unless you're just crazy enough for it to work. But I think you busted out in preseason just to make other people worry about it. You're not actually going to use it during the season unless you don't show it in preseason. By showing it, it tells me that they don't actually think they're going to use it. Unless they do. Mm-hmm. It's Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes. I guess who knows?
Yeah. I mean, again, when you're a two-time back-to-back champion, and let alone just back-to-back champion, when you're a champion at all, you get thrown the gauntlet. Mm-hmm. It's for some reason, one, you get bad draft picks. Mm-hmm. Two, your salary cap situations seem to get terrible. So you got to manage that. Mm-hmm. And you're throwing a gauntlet of a schedule.
First place schedule again.
Come on. Like it's baked into the cake to like make you not. So you have to do things to try to throw some mess into the game.
Well, and to your point too, Strick, I don't think it matters if they put it on film when they're going to use it, because in the heat of the moment, who's going to react with their hands down or sideways? All their training says hands up, hands up, hands up. I'm sure they'll have different formations to run it from.
Yeah.
So one more thing for them to think about. But I think what you're saying too about all that in the schedule, it's meant to bring you down, shows you either an insane level of arrogance or confidence from the Chiefs that they're willing to do something like this and feel like they should do something like this. And it's not just messing around.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It's crazy. And do we have a teaser coming up? Are we going to do something, in the coming week?
Let's tell people to stay tuned. Maybe some winning, maybe some losing going on.
Yeah. We got some things we're looking to add on to some stuff that we do here on the block. You know, we want to make it a block party consistently.
Ooh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
Appreciate you, blockheads, right? If you want to be a part of the conversation, 402-464-5685. Mike, Box Neighbor, OG Les Lancaster from Wahoo. Also, Colgan J, we see your question. Don't have enough time for that one right now. It's a good one that I'm sure we will get to at some point. We're going to take a break. When we get back, should the Pittsburgh Pirates shut down Paul Skenes? Why would they do that? Why would they not do that? And then the Little League Classic happened over the weekend. We'll get into a couple Major League Baseball headlines before we dive full on into the Huskers in hour 2 of On the Block.
Your sprinklers are watering the street or flooding your backyard. If you're on a list that doesn't exist, it's time for Judson Irrigation. At Judson Irrigation, Lee or Lacey or Judson will make an appointment. You pick the time and they'll be there to fix your sprinkler system. Now that's service, a dying art these days.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
John Henry's has a brand new membership club to protect your entire home in one program. With a VIP and a deluxe option, we will help you find the plan that best fits your needs. Receive discounts on services and equipment, priority service, complimentary inspections, and so much more. Protect your home's plumbing, heating, cooling, and electrical systems all in one membership. Call John Henry's to learn more.
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air,
and Electrical.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Last year, Linked Literacy's first annual Word Stock event welcomed 600 people to this community-wide book swap at Antelope Park. It was made possible by the generosity of our donors. Donations are needed for this year's event on August 24th to provide food trucks, table rentals, book bags, and more. This allows us to offer free books to the public for both kids and adults while enjoying all the fun and festivities to promote community connections. Give today by going to linktoliteracy.org. You'll be making an impact through the power of literacy.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
The Mill Coffee and Tea. Formerly with only 4 Lincoln locations, now 5 Lincoln locations. That's 25% more locations than there used to be. Can you even imagine a world where there's only 4 Lincoln Mill locations? Feels like ages ago. We were all so young then. The Mill on 11, located right alongside the 93.7 The Ticket Studios at 1040 O Street.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny with a slight chance for showers and storms, and a high around 85. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 62. And tomorrow, we'll see a slight chance for showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high around 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, fellas. It's your girl, Jordan, with Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Let's talk commitment. And what better way to do that than with some shiny, sparkly jewelry? Am I right? Now, I'm not suggesting you have to rush, but if you're considering making a significant move, do your planning. We offer financing and payment plans. Lock down your selection with confidence. Until next time, this is Jordan at Sartor Heyman Jewelry. Happy shopping, guys.
On the Block with Strick and Austin.
The kicker from Iowa, I don't know. What's his name?
Yeah, what's his name?
What's his name?
What's his name?
Help me!
No, you need to give the name for your boy.
I don't know.
Tory Taylor.
Tory Taylor.
Yeah, and you didn't say that.
That's what I meant.
That's how you said.
But I said Iowa.
But you didn't get the guy's name.
But what does
We're
that
asking
mean?
for the name.
I gave the team and the player.
You did not give the player. You gave the team and the position.
This is a cheat.
Weekdays from 2 to 4 on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block, 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Royals sweep the Cincinnati Reds.
Wow.
Doesn't do much good for the Pittsburgh Pirates, who find themselves still 7.5 games out of wild card contention. Austin Norman, Eric Strickland with you. Pirates now a game and a half back of the Reds in the wild card race. But again, Pittsburgh 7.5 games back of the Atlanta Braves, holding on to the final National League wildcard spot. The reason we bring up the Pittsburgh Pirates and the National League wildcard race is with under 40 games to go, the Pittsburgh Pirates are considering shutting down All-Star starter Paul Skenes. The rookie that started the Major League Baseball All-Star game for the National League has absolutely taken the league by storm, lit it on fire since his arrival in the big leagues. And Strick, I think there are really two arguments here: one for shutting him down and one against shutting him down.
Well, I love the Nick Sainerd mustache.
You do? It's becoming a signature look now,
It's
isn't it?
becoming a signature look. Yeah. Is he still dating the
Livy? Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know who's doing better for themselves.
He's winning, my boy, all the way around. You're the first pick. You're the man. You've got the top. Like, and you're gonna get to go on vacation early. Man, come on, bro. You got the whole life. Okay.
They haven't officially decided to shut him down yet.
They're considering it.
The reason for is something we saw with like Steven Strasburg back in the day. It's happened to plenty of other pitchers before, is that he's a young pitcher. Like you brought up during break, Strick, he's been pitching for a while, right? Between LSU and short season last year, pretty much right back into camp and ramping up through the minor leagues through this year. 125 and a third innings between the majors and the minors. Basically what he did last year between LSU and his brief time in the minors before the end of the season. And again, he's one of the best young pitchers, if not the best youngest pitcher in baseball, with his arsenal, his velocity, for a franchise that really needs it. The franchise in the Pirates that doesn't pony up in free agency, right? They want to keep him healthy as long as they can. So, okay, the easiest way to keep him healthy, you might say to yourself, is shut him down. If he doesn't pitch, he can't blow out his arm, all's well that ends well. I'm going to push back on that a little bit. I get the argument for caution, but maybe the better play in the long term is to keep pitching him, to build him up to a closer to 200 innings workload. He'd probably get 150, maybe 170, probably not 170 by the end of the year. Maybe. He did at least 150 innings by the end of the year. I feel confident in saying that between the minors and the majors. And not as many guys are throwing 200 innings in the major leagues now as they used to. But in the short term, not throwing him is going to save his arm because he's not out there pitching. But in the long term, it might almost be better for him to continue pitching, build up the endurance, build up the stamina. He's a big guy, right? I mean, 6'4", 6'6", somewhere in that range. Like, big dude, well built. He's got the body to handle it. This is mental reps right now, right? We don't have any questions about what he throws and how he throws it. But every batter he faces is more intel for him later on. So I get the argument for shutting him down. I almost wonder if it wouldn't be in the Pirates' best interest to keep pitching him, because if your goal is to make it to the playoffs, you don't shut a guy down 6 weeks before the playoffs start and say, go jump right back in.
I'm going to take middle of the road. The reason I'm going to take middle of the road is because it has been a consistent thing for him from the time he left LSU on a high.
Mm-hmm. Highest of highs.
The highest of highs, until even at this point now being a starter in the All-Star game. So I'm going to take the middle of the road and say, I want to keep him in the weight room. I want to keep him working with our staff, getting him strong, getting, just continuously working him, getting him bullpen work. I don't fully shut him down, but I may shut him down out of regular rotation, meaning he may pitch every other week where he's still pitching, but he's not. So I want him still in the weight room. I still want him working with our strength and condition. I still want him running. I still want him building the endurance and getting that real work, just not on a regular rotation basis. So he's still getting innings. He's still getting that buildup. Unless we feel as a Pirates organization that we legitimately have a shot at making a run, and I think they do.
In
40 games,
years, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you're 40 games, 7 games back. Where
7.5 back. That's a lot.
That's a lot to cover in 40 games.
Yeah.
So
but for next year,
you would have to go on a super you would have to go on a win streak, and we've seen teams do it before.
Mm-hmm.
But you're just playing the odds at this point.
Yeah.
And I'm with it. I get it. I think you're taking the long approach. We've seen guys like Ohtani and just how that wear and tear can do those things to you with your arm. The blessed thing about him is he got a bat.
Right.
So he doesn't lose anything other than the ability to do the damage from both sides of the coin. So
hey, don't forget Paul Skenes was a two-way player at Air Force before getting LSU.
And look, I don't think I try that with him, but I'm still looking forward to seeing the pitcher that can pitch both ways. I want to see how that pans out. Who can pitch from the left and the right? The guy at Mississippi State.
Yeah, Sinche.
I still want to see how that pans out, but that's a whole nother story. They're going to make him pick one.
I think so.
I like that. See, that's how they try to do Stricky.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, you just hit from the left side.
Yeah.
And I get it. But listen, I don't think people understand like the wear and tear of all of those games with travel, with it's mentally draining, and you don't want burnout. You don't want burnout. Like you can handle it on a collegiate schedule, but boy, when you add a MLB schedule on top of that, and then I'm not even sure they didn't have him playing winter ball. They made like that's what they were trying to do with me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, as a pitcher, I don't know. Maybe they didn't, but I know they were trying to send me to winter ball, spring, play in the season, and
fall ball.
I was like, wait a minute, that's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what their scheduling is for him, but I would say take a middle roll approach.
The other option that they could do is keep him pitching once every 5 games, but limit his innings. You don't let him get to 100 pitches. You maybe let him go 75, or you say you got 4 innings, right? You get 5 innings. We'll let you maybe qualify for the win, which is another conversation we need to have in baseball, how you earn or don't earn wins. So that's what, for example, this article I'm reading from The Athletic is saying that the White Sox are doing with Garrett Crochet, who was a highly sought after piece at the deadline, but the White Sox decided to hold on to him, keeping him still in rhythm, still in routine. Because again, I think Skenes is going to be that every 5th day guy. So I like that. Make it as normal as you can for him, but you can still save some pitches by yanking him earlier than you maybe would have early in the season. The other part that's complicating this isn't as complicated for, say, the Pirates as it has been for the Orioles or the Mariners, for example, in years past. Paul Skenes was a top 100 prospect. He was on the 40-man roster, I believe, was not on the opening day roster. And the Pirates waited longer than 2 weeks to call him up. Why does that matter? Because if Paul Skenes had been called up within the first 2 weeks of the year, and then he either won MVP or Cy Young, not going to get either one of those, or if he finishes top 2 in Rookie of the Year voting, Pittsburgh would have gotten an extra draft pick. And a low-money team, really any MLB team, but especially a smaller market, lower budget payroll team like the Pirates, wants as much cost control talent as they can get their hands on. They would have been eligible for the pick had Skenes started the year in the major leagues. That's why Baltimore got one for Adley Rutschman and Seattle got one for Julio Rodriguez. But because Pittsburgh took the approach of we want Skenes to ramp up, we'll start him in AA, we'll promote him to AAA, and then in May, he comes up to the major league.
And that's unusual.
It is.
They usually go from double up.
Double up, right.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Pittsburgh was wrong for wanting him to build up when you get a look at him at every level. But what we're seeing is it's probably going to cost them. He's not a surefire Rookie of the Year. The NL crop is pretty good when it comes to rookies this year. He's going to have competition. He wasn't as much a shoe-in for the award now as he maybe was a month ago during the All-Star break. But that's, again, where I don't want to say the Pirates shot themselves in the foot, but the Pirates definitely missed an opportunity, Strick, for essentially a free draft pick.
Oh, yeah. Totally a missed opportunity. It just as much of a missed opportunity than what the WNBA did with Caitlin Clark and even maybe Angel Reese playing in the Olympics. That's one of the biggest. And stay tuned. Just stay tuned, because that's what we may start getting into when we add this new addition to the block party.
OG Les Lancaster says Skenes is one of two players. He's either the next Verlander or the next Strasburg. I don't think there's an in-between.
Okay. Yeah, CJ, OG, I love your takes. I'm hoping that Strasburg is phenomenal, but I'd love to go back and look and see kind of how they did him. And
so Strasburg got shut down his rookie year. He was hurt off and on, and then had a big old blow up in saga with Washington. He didn't want to report to camp. Washington was going to make him. It was really an ignominious end to a tenure, but
a lot of off the field stuff more.
A lot. 2010 started 12 games, only 5 in 2011. 28-30, led baseball with 34 starts in 2014, finishing 9th in Cy Young. 23 starts in 2015, 24, 28, 22, 33 in 2019 when he finished 5th in Cy Young voting, 15th in the MVP, led baseball in innings. And of course, Justin Verlander he's not Mount Rushmore of MLB pitchers, but he's a top 10, top 15 guy in terms of starting pitchers, Major League Baseball history. Strasburg at his peak was that, but he ran into a couple injuries. I think that Skenes is built a little more solidly like Verlander, and I also just don't trust that Washington organization. Nor do I trust Pittsburgh for that matter. So maybe that's heading him down the Strasburg category, but we'll definitely wait and see. When we get back, we'll wrap up hour one of On the Block. Interesting comments from some Team USA flag football players saying, don't be so fast to hand our game, the Olympics, over to NFL players. Do we agree? Do we disagree? We want your thoughts when we wrap up hour one of On the Block right after this.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're going to keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Hey, it's Jake Sorensen. Tune in this Thursday, August 22nd, for Early Break live from the brand new Ruhlman Steakhouse in Ashland. We'll sample food throughout the broadcast and show off the newest steakhouse in the area this Thursday for Early Break live from Ruhlman Steakhouse in Ashland.
Water heater gone? Call Bryant. The price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. And in most cases, same-day replacement. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. 467-1111.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more, all at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
Play ball! Looking for the ultimate change-up from the typical family nights? How about a Grand Slam good time with friends and coworkers? Then unleash the fun at Haymarket Park with an action-packed, thrilling season of Salt Dogs baseball. Choose from 50 home games now through August with daily and weekly specials your whole pack can enjoy, including group discounts. Don't miss out on the magic and the excitement. Strike three, you're out! Visit saltdogs.com to reserve your tickets today. Unleash the fun.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska. Bill Bush here for Hefty Seed Company, who wants you to know about their summer meeting on Wednesday, August 21st. You know how deeply I care about ag, so I'm locked into these topics for the meeting, including input costs for the 2025 growing season, weed control, fertility, seed traits, new varieties, herbicide, and crop protection pricing, and all industry news. RSVP today, heftyseed.com/store meetings or call 402-646-2040. It's the Hefty Agronomy Meeting at Harvest Hall at Seward County Fairground on Wednesday, August 21st from 1 to 2:30 with lunch at 12:30. Free lunch. Don't miss it.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Wrapping up hour one of On the Block here on a Monday. Appreciate you guys and your interaction on the text line. Diving into Huskers in hour number two. Lots to take away from what Matt Rule said over the weekend. Some of our own thoughts as well. Saw this, Strick, from Daryl Hoosh-Doucette, USA flag football quarterback. He said, I think it's disrespectful that they, NFL players, just automatically assume that they're able to just join the Olympic team because of the person that they are. They didn't help grow this game to get to the Olympics. Give the guys who helped this game get to where it's at their respect. He right? He wrong? He have a point? What do you want to see from Team USA flag football when it's there for the first time of the 2028 Olympics?
I mean, I understand what he's saying, and I think I'm okay with that. The question then becomes, how do you I know they have a league, so how do you then decide on who's the best of the best? Like over the course of the years, do you feel that America has picked out of basketball? Let's just take basketball. The best of the best.
Generally.
For the most part.
Generally, yeah. Always
Not
going to
all
be
the time.
quibbles, but generally fine.
All right. How do you determine that with that sport? Because there's no foundation for it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? There's nothing that you can draw from to say, oh, you're the best quarterback other than what, numbers? But does numbers always mean that you're the best? Because someone can average 30 points a game, 40 points a game, and the team be 2 and 15, right? Are you the best? I don't think so. I think there's a lot of things that come into play when you're talking about winning.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you can have the best numbers in the world. This is why, for me, the debate between LeBron James and, because when you just look at the peaks of their years, and when you talk about longevity, there's something to be said for that, because the durability, longevity. But if you look at the peak of his years, you look at durability. Michael Jordan wins that. Durability wise, playing 82 games, 82
playoffs.
plus, Stockton, you're talking about durability. Okay, let's we can talk about durability, but you can understand someone playing 20-something plus years. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
But when you look at the impact that it plays, so when you're looking at this flag football team, how do you determine that? That's what's going to be, I think, hardest to say, because if you throw Tyreek Hill out there and say, there's nobody on your squad, I believe that could be Tyreek Hill.
Outrun, out high point, outmaneuver.
So that's where I'm like, ugh, that's a tough one. It's shaky. Stricky kind of shaky on that one.
I think it's a fun debate because you can have the same thing for Team USA 3-on-3. Got embarrassed at the Olympics, right? And so the simple solution as we see it is, throw Jalen, Kyrie, and Jalen out there, right? Or Apollo or Cooper, whoever, right? Plenty of great players that got
whoever doesn't make it. Right? Like,
right.
Here's a criteria for that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You just said it. You were dope. Whoever you got more to say? I'm sorry.
I got
Let me
more
let
to
you
say.
finish. Go ahead.
Because I think that's from the outside the simple answer,
Yeah.
but it's not how the politics work. Because USA 5-on-5 is not the same entity as USA 3-on-3.
Right.
It's not the same USA basketball umbrella because they're not technically the same sport.
Right.
There's not ever going to be American football at the Olympics. Right? I'm pretty confident saying that. But flag football is really growing across the country. So I think it's fair. I think if we're celebrating the Olympics as, a celebration of amateur sports to some degree, it makes sense that, hey, these amateurs who have dedicated their time to their hobby, their craft, whatever it is, they are the ones growing the game. They've put in the time, the work. They know the rules. They've been to these international tournaments and whatnot. They absolutely deserve a crack at the Olympics. But then you say, is it about the best amateur athletes, or is it about showing off the best of what the world has to offer? We're America, dang it. We want to win. Football's our game. We're just going to run over you little guys. You go have fun in the World Cup. You can teach our guys the finer points of the rules, but screw it. Our lineup is Mahomes, Hill, Kelsey, Jefferson. Right? Like, that'd be so fun to watch. You'd be so fun to tune in for.
And see, and this is the other thing, because I just kind of teased it on the last segment. Big miss by the WNBA with what they didn't do. And we saw ratings fall. And we now see football's coming.
Mm-hmm.
They only have like 4 games, I think, on prime TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they're still dumb. I'm not saying they're dumb because it's women making decisions. That's not what I'm saying particularly. I'm saying whoever's making these decisions is dumb. Because you only give Caitlin Clark 1 game?
Whoops.
Okay, so you've already missed.
Also, she's been on a tear since she got the break.
And she's killing people right now. She got teams crashing out over.
Mm-hmm.
We just kind of talked about
they're
it.
Bugging.
So, okay. If you want to grow the sport and blow it through the roof on that stage, like you just said, World Cup, any other types of events or national events, but when you're talking world stage, if you want TV revenue, have a league that gets respect, you want to put, like you just said, Mahomes, Kelsey, if they want to do it, because you're not going to put helmets on.
No.
That can just be fun for them.
Right.
But a competitive fun without other than, hamstrings and maybe ankles. But those type of guys, like
going nuts.
Kyler Murray?
Shoot. Lamar? Josh?
Huh?
Yeah.
Like those type of guys? And it's the same thing in basketball. Basketball, if you don't pick certain guys, you put Kyrie. If you want to blow it up, you put Kyrie, like you said, Jalen Brunson.
Jalen Brown.
Spider
Mitchell.
Even young fella. Like this would have been a time I would have thrown
Banchero, Mobley.
No, hold on. I would have thrown your boy.
Cooper Flagg.
Yes!
Bring it.
Yes!
Now we're talking.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's your time to kind of
seize the moment, seize the spotlight.
And they're blowing it. Whoever's in their marketing departments to me is blowing it big time. Put Stricky in.
Stricky, go play. I'll hold down the show for you.
Negative, Ghost Rider. That pattern's been full.
Yeah, there's no sitting in the corner in 3-on-3.
No, sir,
Sorry,
not
my
in that,
friend.
my boy. No, sir. And I watched it. And while we're talking about that, before we go to break, I watched the big 3 All-Star game, right? Mm-hmm. So they had a celebrity game before that.
Mm-hmm.
So they had Gillian Wallow on there.
When are you playing a celebrity game, Stricky?
No.
Come on.
Mm-mm.
Come on.
They had Gillian Wallow on there, who are like they're podcasters and kind of hip hop podcasters, right? Gilly's won the MVP, I think, the last 2 years, and he went buck wild. Mm-hmm. He's out there looking like old school Kenny Anderson to me, and talking smack. He's playing against the professor.
Yeah.
And the professor's trying to get at him, but he was hitting him with 4 balls, hezzies, behind the back crosses. I mean, I said, wait a minute, Gilly, what you got going over here? I'm telling you, he was out here. Look, I got to call Kenny. I'm like, Kenny, your boy Gilly was out here looking like you back in the old school days. And so 3-on-3, I mean, just that platform alone, man, it's. I think it's something that, yeah, we've got to take better advantage of in those situations.
We're a long way from 2028, and yet it'll be here before we know it. Good stuff there. That might be a good crossover topic with DP. Jay will be in for hour 2 of Old School. We got another hour of On the Block, though. Husker football headlines. Headlined by this, Stricky. Could Nebraska name its starting quarterback this week? Matt Rule thinks that's going to happen. We'll hear from the head coach, talk through it ourselves. All ahead in hour 2 of On the Block.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today: patchy fog possible this morning. Otherwise, partly sunny with a slight chance for showers and storms, and a high around 85. Tonight, partly cloudy with a low around 62. And tomorrow, we'll see a slight chance for showers and storms. Otherwise, partly sunny and a high around 78. I'm meteorologist Kyle Klecker for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Riddle's Jewelry is excited to be celebrating 65 years. 65 years of so many incredible memories celebrating with each of your special moments. In celebration of the 65th Riddle's Jewelry anniversary, we will be offering up to 40% off all engagement rings and all diamond fashion jewelry. The excitement doesn't stop there. Riddle's Jewelry is also offering 18 months, 0% interest, and $0 down financing on all qualifying purchases. Riddle's Jewelry has always been known for incredible customer service, one of the largest selections of engagement rings, and don't forget about the on-site jeweler. Come celebrate with us at Riddle's Jewelry, your one-stop diamond shop with exclusive Levian jewelry, Pandora Charm jewelry, and more. All at Riddle's inside Gateway Mall.
You already know that Select Plumbing takes care of all your plumbing needs, including water heaters, faucet repairs, leaks, drips, sump pumps, and more. Now, they're able to help you with your heating and air conditioning as well. Select Plumbing has recently expanded into residential heating and air, and they're excited to bring this new service to their complete list of plumbing services. Call to book an appointment today at 402-560-6197 or go to selectplumbinginc.com, serving Lincoln, Seward, Milford, and the surrounding areas.
Hey guys, it's Bill Bush. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty has opened a new location in Pender, Nebraska, in addition to their office in Lincoln. The real estate world can be confusing, so why wouldn't you want an expert helping you every step of the way? If you're looking to buy or sell farmland in Nebraska, Kansas, or Iowa, give Ethan Sorensen a call today at 402-380-0432 or visit them online at nextagrealestate.com. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty with locations in Lincoln and now Pender, Nebraska.
Plains Cover Crop is your one-stop seed shop. Call us now for spring and summer forages, CRP mixes, and fall cover crop blends. We do farm-specific consulting for practical and efficient seed blends to fit your geography and goals. With a very diverse inventory, we will tailor a blend just for you. We're also looking for contract growers, and we buy and sell rye. Find us online at plainscovercrop.com. Timeless agronomy practices paired with modern technology. East Highway 20 in Orchard and across Nebraska.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Ready to upgrade your combine or header before harvest? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help you find the right equipment to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% financing for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest-free waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of August when you purchase a pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Everyone should have a collection of something. For some, it's stamps or coins, expensive cars, or even watches. But for a lot of people, it's sports cards. And there's no better way to grow your collection than with the help of Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's first and only collector-first sports cards and memorabilia shop. Capital City Sports Cards connects collectors of all ages and demographics with unique collectibles sure to bring any collection to life, no matter the budget. Visit Capital City Sports Cards near 56th and Old Cheney or through their eBay storefront. Capital City Sports Cards, Lincoln's premier sports card and memorabilia store.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane. You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Looking for a place to host a one-of-a-kind private game day experience for your staff or clients? Courtyard Marriott downtown is just blocks from the stadium and steps away from all the fanfare. You'll enjoy use of an entire entertainment space, including outdoor courtyard, accommodations for 250-plus guests. Party starts 3 hours before kickoff, and they'll clean up while you go and enjoy the game. Call Courtyard Marriott at 402-904-4800 for more info or to book your pregame party today. Limited dates available.
Bill Bush here for Hefty Seed Company, who wants you to know about their summer meeting on Wednesday, August 21st. You know how deeply I care about ag, so I'm locked into these topics for the meeting, including input costs for the 2025 growing season, weed control, fertility, seed traits, new varieties, herbicide, and crop protection pricing, and all industry news. RSVP today, heftyseed.com/store meetings, or call 402-646-2040. It's the Hefty Agronomy Meeting at Harvest Hall at Seward County Fairground on Wednesday, August 21st from 1 to 2:30 with lunch at 12:30. Free lunch. Don't miss it.
This is On the Block with Strick and Austin. Nebraska Basketball Hall of Famer and 9-year NBA vet, Eric Strickland.
Strickland for three! And you're going to go out of here as the Big 8 tournament champion.
Middle school basketball coaching legend and Duke basketball shooting coach in his mind, Austin Orman. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Presented by NIPCO. This is On the Block with Strick and Austin.
Hour 2 of a Monday show dives fully into Husker football. We'll talk some Matt Rule comments here to lead off the hour before our normal Monday recruiting conversation with Brian Munson of Husker Online. Austin Norman and Eric Strickland with you. Big thanks to Nebco for their sponsorship of On the Block. If you're looking for a new career, nebcoinc.com is the place you should go. All right, Stricky, let's just dive right into it without further ado. Matt Rule, over the weekend, around the scrimmage number 2 that happened this weekend, was asked about, kind of the timeline, what's going into naming the starting quarterback. And Matt Rule said, quote, "I will probably be ready to name it starting quarterback at some point this week. We'll go out and watch the tape and really look at a lot of different positions and sort of set, hey, here's the depth we have going into the first game." Do you think Matt Rule announces the starting quarterback publicly this week or just privately this week if he's going to announce it?
So we're 2 weeks away.
Yep. First game is in 12 days.
I would do it privately, internally, and allow the reps, then the speculations to come. And then week before, then I would announce it publicly. That's how I would do it.
Do you think any Nebraska...
Because they're going to talk about it.
They are.
The media is going to talk about it. They're going to say who, like, there's an announcement coming. Outside of Dylan Raiola, if you see a change in reps, then there's an announcement for Harburg or, Caitlin or whatever, right? If the change in reps go to that, because you're 2 weeks away. And at this point, you're pushing whoever it's going to be is going to increase in probably reps that they're going to get at the position. So you allow the media to put it out there and speculate and talk about it and, do all their thing without you having to sit in front of their face and answer all kinds of questions as to the why and what did they do and how did they do better and what really was the competition. Just internally, and then let them talk about it and speculate. And then when it comes that week of, the narrative changes. It's not necessarily about who the starting quarterback is and what it is. It's about how your team is preparing. You're 1 week out. What are you trying to do? What is your expectation for this game? What would you like to see in this game? And what area of you're talking that thing instead of about the quarterback. And why take the focus off of all the other stuff at this point? That's the way I think about it.
If you're UTEP right now, are you seriously considering the possibility of Heinrich Harburg being the starter, or are you pushing all your chips into, I bet Nebraska is going to name Dylan Raiola the starter?
So here's the thing. If I'm wise, I would probably have a set of things for Harburg.
Yeah.
Here's why. We just talked about it.
Mm-hmm.
You want to put stuff on film.
Right.
You just want to give them something that they have to prepare for more of, just in case. When you see it, then you're like, okay, we've seen this, run, read, blah, blah, blah. And then you throw a wrinkle in on them. And I just do it in these earlier games to put it on film. So when you get to the bigger Big Ten games, now all they've seen is inside read, maybe a fake with a drag tight end. Okay,
they got Harvard,
this is what you need to watch
too,
right?
Mm-hmm.
This is what you need to watch for. And then all of a sudden, Harburg's better. He's probably more accurate. He's worked on stuff, and then I hit him with a big one. It could be it could be a momentum changer. It can be a momentum swing. There's all these different things that it could do. That's why I make it available when you have that type of, because for Dylan, what is a couple of one, you want to blow teams out so that you get other guys reps, second team, third team, like the old Huskers used to do.
Right.
And, you want to blow them out to where these guys, and then all of a sudden now everybody feels comfortable being out on the field. Do that.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, I think you just put something on film. So a couple of series. Okay, you're getting 90% of the series. Couple series. Why not?
I'm going to take your middle road here, and I think that there's a way to do this whether it's Harburg or Raiola starting. And Matt Rule had some really interesting stuff to say about Daniel Kalen. Said that's an NFL guy. He has the it factor, great leadership, mind works really quickly, just has to grow into his body a little bit. So
maybe him and not Harburg.
Maybe. But let's say that Heinrich Harburg is the starter. I think that it gets announced privately first for obvious reasons. But I think if Harburg is the starter, you announce it privately first and probably announce it publicly this week too, because you give a week for all the, why isn't Dylan Raiola conversation or why starting conversation?
Why would you want that?
Just give me a second. I'll get there. I'll get there.
You're taking me there.
You get out ahead of it now. If you get to game week and the focus is, why isn't Dylan starting? Why isn't Dylan starting? 5-star freshman this. What's Nebraska doing? What are they seeing that we didn't? That detracts.
Okay. So you want 2 weeks to have it
and then
fade out of the cycle. Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
If Harburg starts, you absolutely say it privately and publicly this week.
Okay.
But same thing if Dylan starts. You get the, Dylan Raiola is starting, media circus and hype out of the way this week. So next week's business. If you name it privately this week, you're going to name it privately first. That's what you should do, right? Handle business in-house. But I think this is a situation where Matt Rule has to understand the environment, right? He's focused on the football team. That's his number one priority. I get it. The guys don't listen to the media. They don't see what's written about them or hear what's said about them. Except Stricky, they do. They're athletes in the social media era. Even if they don't see exactly, specifically everything or know exactly, specifically what's going on, they can about guess and have a pretty good idea of what the conversation is. They know their status as Nebraska football quarterbacks. So I think Matt Rule would be best served in helping his players by naming a starter this week. So we can have our conversations about it this week, and the out-of-control hype is out of the way a week before you actually play games. They can get on to business, focus on the game plan.
Okay. I mean, that's a great take. Yeah. I mean, to me, I think media, I like what you're saying, because in one instance, that way, you can spark the fire and allow the fire not to have more logs put on it, because you just can't continue to put logs on a fire that's already been explained. Or if you, in the other instance of what I explained, you could allow the speculation to take place. And then, like, I would agree if you're not doing it with Harburg, another quarterback. I would probably take that stance. I would take the other stance because it would just be understood. Like, what else could you say? Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you guys, like, if you start asking and going off on me, if I'm Coach Roll and I'm in the media room and I'm just like, I mean, you guys are all here. You come to the practices, you check it out, you see what's going on. You guys know that obviously, you know, we've had these discussions internally. This is something that we wanted to keep internally with our staff and allow them to work. But you see who's getting the reps, you see who's been, and then it just kind of because you can't. Well, what else could I say on that? And so at that point, if it focuses me in on team goals, what you want to accomplish,
role,
right? So I think what you're saying, the possibility of that dissipating, I think it helps, because it's already, the fire's out. It's already boom. It's large bonfire, and then a week away it loses cycle at some point, right? So I think it works both ways potentially. I think the fire has more opportunity to dissipate probably if you make the change and you have that situation like where another quarterback outside of Dylan Raiola, you probably want a 2-week cycle to allow that. All those questions that you were just saying, wait, what's going on? You don't want that in the week of. So I get how you would do it with them. But if it's Dylan, I would probably I would let you figure it out, because you're going to see it. You're going to know it. And that way we can focus on the team and not have all this bonfire going off. And we just got a little mini fire.
Right. I think if Nebraska wants to get down to business, it'll say something this week. If Nebraska wants to build hype, it'll do it next week. And I think this is a program that needs to get down to business sooner or later.
Yeah.
Couple things from the text line.
Yeah, what
here.
are they saying? What are they saying?
Wild Bill asks, do you guys actually think Dylan won't be the starter? And James and Lincoln has a similar question. Is there a world in which Dylan doesn't start? He's been going with the ones since the spring, and in the fall scrimmages here and in highlights, he's taking snaps with the ones. That's kind of my point and why I asked you what I did, Strick, about if you're UTEP, how are you preparing? I was maybe a little slower to get on board the Dylan Raiola hype train, saying, well, let's leave the door open for Heinrich Haarberg to take some of these steps. Maybe the staff sees something differently than we do. But no, I'm very sure that Dylan Raiola will be the starter in week one. The world that he doesn't start in, he gets hurt, he gets sick, ill, something like that, behaves out of the ordinary from what we've heard he's been doing, which is, top tier, good citizen behavior. So yes, all the signs are pointing to Dylan Raiola being the starter at Nebraska, which is why I asked Strick, if you're UTEP, are you preparing at all for Heinrich Haarberg, preparing a little for Heinrich Haarberg, especially for your first reps, right? Your season tone setting series, offensively and defensively. If you're UTEP, if you're Colorado week 2, are you at all preparing for Heinrich Haarberg to start? Or are you spending the bulk of your time on Dylan Raiola prep? Maybe looking at some Spencer Rattler film from South Carolina and Satterfield, how Rule's used other, more pro-style quarterbacks. And Stricky, if I'm
that's
UTEP,
another reason why I don't put it out. Go ahead.
But see, my thing is not putting it out, I don't think matters, because I think teams are preparing for Dylan Raiola to be the Nebraska starter.
Okay.
That's my take.
But that's why I say throw him in a couple series and put him on film. And I'm not talking about fourth quarter series. I'm talking about second quarter. I'm like, I want you thinking like if I'm Nebraska, I'm putting out all punches. I'm trying to be like the movie Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Whatever I think that's what it was called. Woody Harrelson and all of them and the tricks.
Wasn't Mark Ruffalo in that one? Jesse Eisenberg, maybe?
Man, and the Four Horsemen. Yeah, I'm pulling out all the tricks. I want you, every time you see me on the field, you might think, a trick might happen. Like that's the way I want you to think. So for me, that's how I would play it.
Thunderknot Collins says they don't have to. Everyone knows who is starting. And Mississippi Mud Dog says, I don't think announcing the starter to the public matters that much. The team knows. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at. But I also think that we have to keep in mind the nature of the Nebraska fan base and how they would react to that news. And again, not that that's Matt Rule's concern, but kind of it is, right? As head coach, you have to at least be aware of the environment that you're creating by saying this or by not saying this. And I would like to think Matt Rule is aware enough to pick the right message to placate the fans and do the right thing for his football team. And of course, the second one comes first, but both are considerations. Let's call up Brian Munson of Husker Online, have our weekly recruiting chat with him.
We see you, Big Bird.
We do as well, Big Bird. Strick and I on Friday talked about the importance of legacy players at Nebraska. If you missed that segment after our show's done, after Old School's done too, probably, you're sitting around the supper table, you're driving home from work, whatever, pull up the podcast, search On the Block with Strick and Austin, find our Hour 2 segment from Friday. Iowa got a legacy commit, 4-star defensive end, top 25 player in the country. That was important for them. How important are legacy players to Nebraska? What goes into getting those second generation, third generation players on Nebraska's team? How important is it? We'll get into all that and more with Brian Munson of Husker Online right after this. Nebco is hiring CDL drivers for Ready Mixed Concrete, Husker Concrete, and Beatrice Concrete. Nebco offers great pay, medical and retirement benefits, paid time off, and they pay for CDL training. Apply today and start your new career with a $2,500 hiring bonus. From Nebco's beginning in 1908, it's the employees that have formed the company's solid foundation. Start your career today. Visit nebcoinc.com. That's NEBCOINC.com.
Yesterday, your water heater worked just fine. Today, surprise! When you're out of hot water, just call the plumbers at Bryant. In most cases, you can get same-day water heater replacement. What you won't get is a costly surprise with the bill. At Bryant, the price you're quoted is the price you'll pay. No last-minute extras for piping or ventilation alterations. Need a new water heater? Just call Bryant, 467-1111. Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing. We do whatever it takes.
Ready to add a dash of Southern flavor to your week? At Wings and Rings, their brand new Southern fried wings have arrived for a limited time. Indulge in the irresistible goodness of large, traditional bone-in wings coated in a crispy beer batter and fried to perfection. Try them with hot honey or any other sauces. And for those busy summer days coming up, look no further than their Southern Fried Wings Family Bundle. Wings and Rings, 2 Lincoln locations on O Street or Village Lane.
This show's pretty rockin', huh?
Yeah, I'm so glad my State Farm agent helped me go.
Huh?
My State Farm agent. They help me with options to personalize my auto insurance to get a great rate that fits my budget, so I don't have to give up the things I love.
Wow. Hey, so do you think I could get your State Farm agent's number?
Call your local State Farm agent, Vinny Krekak, at 402-474-1173.
Individual premiums and budgets will vary by customer. All applicants subject to State Farm underwriting requirements.
Looking for a place to host a one-of-a-kind private game day experience for your staff or clients? Courtyard Marriott downtown is just blocks from the stadium and steps away from all the fanfare. You'll enjoy use of an entire entertainment space, including outdoor courtyard, accommodations for 250-plus guests. Party starts 3 hours before kickoff, and they'll clean up while you go and enjoy the game. Call Courtyard Marriott at 402-904-4800 for more info or to book your pregame party today. Limited dates available.
The 2024 Nebraska football season is here, and we need you to be a part of the Sea of Red Memorial Stadium this fall. A limited number of Husker football single-game tickets are on sale now and are only available while supplies last. Don't miss out on any of the action this season by getting yours before it's too late. To purchase your Husker football single-game tickets, visit huskers.com/tickets. Go Big Red.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors Lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Nutrition Authority invites you to try Blitz 250. Blitz 250 is a fully loaded pre-workout for those who want the most out of their workouts. Blitz 250 is safe for sport and banned sepsis free. Blitz 250 can only be found at Nutrition Authority. For location info, check us out at mynutritionauthority.com.
Ready to upgrade your combine or header before harvest? The team at Landmark Implement is here to help you find the right equipment to fit your operations needs. Choose from 4.75% financing for up to 60 months or a 12-month interest-free waiver, followed by John Deere financial rates with approved credit through the end of August when you purchase a pre-owned S or X Series combine from Landmark. View our current inventory online at landmarkimp.com or stop by your local Landmark to experience the Landmark difference.
Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is On the Block on 93.7 The Ticket as well as theticketfm.com, finding us streaming worldwide. Thanks to Starter Heyman Jewelers and Aloe for their support of our video streams. Also, Aloe sponsors our VIP line. Aloe Fiber is where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. We go there now. We welcome in Brian Munson of Husker Online. Brian, we have a fun conversation ahead of us. Let's just start with business, though. David Sanders Jr. officially commits to Tennessee over Nebraska. You told us for a while the writing was kind of on the wall. A bigger win for Tennessee, a bigger loss for Nebraska. How does this look for the Huskers in the big picture?
Ooh, it's a huge win for them because they're making a serious push right now. They just flipped a linebacker from Alabama as well. And, they're really creeping closer to that top ranking, on 3. But for Nebraska, this is beyond rankings. David Sanders Jr. was somewhat like the Dylan Raiola to this year's class. I mean, he's kind of that really needed person that they could depend on to be there in January to pencil them in at left tackle, for the following fall. So I'm not going to say he's not going to have that impact, at Knoxville. He may very well go down and do that, but I would have to argue, without knowing anything about their depth or their, the path to playing time in Knoxville is going to be a heck of a lot more, treacherous and difficult when in comparison to Nebraska. I think the doors would have been just wide open for him to walk through it and be a player, year one. So I think it's big for both sides. It's really disappointing. Obviously, Nebraska got very, very close. Just close isn't going to cut it.
Do you think this brings an end to the impromptu pep rallies tweeted out by presumed QB1, or do you think we'll see one of those again for the next big commit?
I don't think that's going to end anything. I don't think that was probably the reason why they missed out on him at all. But I mean, they had a lot of fun. They had a lot of fun pulling this thing together. It was in very short order. I think Nebraska did the best with what they could. They were able to get that second visit, which I think would have been critical. I mean, they weren't going to get Sanders without that second visit. Let's just be honest. They were they were not going to get him with it, as it turns out. But I mean, to have any type of chance at all, they needed to host him that second time, and they needed to hit it out of the ballpark, and they did. They did. It's just, you needed to hit it out of Fenway over the Green Monster and not over Williamsport. It needed to get out over the Green Monster and clear the Sitco signs, and it was very difficult to do with two visits. I mean, that's just like what it all comes back to. It's a number game at that point. I mean, you just don't know what you don't know about a school that you can't, get done and get figured out with the extra 4 or 5 visits he took to Knoxville that he didn't take to Lincoln.
I want to touch on another 2026 guy here in just a sec. I want to make sure we point people, though, to your 3 and out from last Wednesday. Good stuff on Michael Terry and a bunch of other guys that are within that 500-mile radius. I'm going to point people to that to read as soon as we're done with this conversation here. But one of the guys you wrote about individually, Brian, Deacon Schmidt, 6'4", 280, out of the state of Colorado, correct?
Yes, and Nebraska fans have got to get to know this guy. Things are moving incredibly quickly with him. Went from picking up an offer in June at the following camp, basically being told right then and there when he's getting his offer, hey, we're going to have this end of the summer thing the last weekend in July. We need you here. And then hearing then, in the end of July, after he makes it there the second time, which is just like 6-7 weeks later, hey, we want you to come back for, the week we play Colorado, which is another 6 or 7 weeks away. So in roughly 3.5 months time, he's going to visit Nebraska 3 times. Things have definitely taken off, and there's a lot to like about him. He doesn't have that prototypical 6'5". He's a 6'4" guy, but great athlete, really nice feet. And I think Nebraska fans need to kind of circle him at, like, when it comes to, building that big board, like, in their minds. I think things look really good right now between Nebraska and Deacon Schmidt.
Is that an interior guy, or do you think he's athletic enough to hang on the outside of the offensive line?
Look, I think Nebraska is going to be looking for some guys that have the capability of playing both, and I think he could do both. He probably is. Well, he's not probably. He is. He's a little bit more prototypical interior offensive line, but although On3 does rate him as an offensive tackle, I think the capability is there. It's just, I think you should probably see him as a guy that they'll get him in there and, maybe he's like a Grant Bricks kind of guy and say, we think you have the capability to do it, but maybe it helps for you to do this first, or we're just going to bring you in and figure out where you can fit, because they might be recruiting over some of the current talent on the team. So he's a very talented individual. I think that I would leave the door open for both inside and outside.
It's Brian Munson on Deacon Schmidt, a definite target for Nebraska in the 2026 class. All right, Brian, Strick and I were having this conversation on Friday. You're our recruiting guy. We definitely wanted to make sure we had this conversation with you. Legacy players at Nebraska. It popped up because Iowa got a commit from Jose Epinesa, younger brother of AJ Epinesa. First of all, is the younger Epinesa a legit player? Do you know about him from the state of Illinois?
Absolutely. I mean, doesn't look like his brother necessarily, but not too far off. I mean, I've had to get familiar with his brother because he's a Buffalo Bill. So,
right.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's definitely a dude. I mean, that's a family pipeline going to Iowa City there.
It sure is. So we know that he's a legacy going to Iowa City, and we know how much that means to the Nebraska program and really, I think, Nebraska fans when it comes to legacy players. There's one in the 25 class, right? Carpenter's a legacy. Is that right?
Yep. I played with his brother, actually. So Tim and I played together at Columbus High School. We both graduated class of 93. I'm actually inducting him into the Columbus High School Hall of Fame here in about 3 weeks up in Columbus.
Nice.
So yeah, it's really exciting to see Jackson. He's his own dude. First of all, Dad could have played a lot of spots on the football field. I don't know if he would have got away with wide receiver, and I think he would say that too. But Jackson's a heck of an athlete, and he's kind of got his own profile. And I think that's something that really is interesting between those two guys.
Okay, I'm glad you bring that aspect of it up, because I think that to me is one of the biggest questions when we have this legacy recruiting conversation. We had it all last offseason with Dylan Raiola. I know there's going to be guys that fall in both camps, so I get that going in. But generally speaking, when you talk to a Jackson Carpenter, you hear from a Dylan Raiola, do they actually believe in the family legacy part? They actually want to follow in dad's footsteps, uncle's footsteps, whoever, or are they just paying lip service to it? Oh, I should probably say this. It's red meat for people. It's going to go over well. Like, how often do they actually mean, hey, I want to be like dad when I grow up? And how often is it, yeah, I mean, that's cool, but it's not the primary reason I chose to attend Nebraska or school X?
I think it gets downplayed a lot at first. I think that I think, and Tim was this way. I've been in touch with Tim a lot, over the last couple of years. I talked to him about his kid and just staying in touch in general. But I think that, Tim really kind of reinforced it, that he wanted his son to do what was best for him. And I don't know if Nebraska really was, the clear-cut choice. I seem to feel like there were some other suitors there that once, only until Rule kind of came around, and I think until there was that kind of calling that kind of brought it all back together again, that it felt like that's what I want to do. I want to be part of something bigger. It's not about trying to appease the family, though. It's about, there's a calling, I think, there. And I think Dylan said it too. Just woke up one morning, he said, kind of like, I want to be a Husker. And it's because it's my family school. It's because of where my dad went. It's because of, it's because of where I belong. And I think that, if you talk to Jackson and you talk to Caleb Benning's an excellent example of that too. But I mean, you had like Quinn Clark and Keelan Smith and Mario Buford, whose brother's on the team, and Ian Flint, whose mother and father met at Nebraska, were athletes, and his sister is still an athlete on the track team. I mean, that's a family that has really deep, ties to Nebraska. But I think it comes back down to, they kind of maybe try to squelch it a little bit. They maybe want to kind of clear the air and make sure they're looking at all things, and it just seems to kind of keep blinking in the corner of their eye that is home. And it was home for dad. It was home for somebody else, brother, sister, whomever. And, and that's kind of one of those things that, it's like what I say too, like when we start talking about, like Will Hawthorne, him choosing Iowa State over Nebraska. Well, sometimes with those home state guys, when it comes down to it, sometimes that distance, plays into that, and it becomes a deciding factor. I think here, I think Nebraska being a legacy, I think it plays way differently than just the geographic location, because, look, Flint's a Houston guy and Buford's a Dallas guy and Keelan Smith is a Kansas City guy. I think that, it ranks even above that. When you have that calling, and you want to be part of something like that, I think obviously Rule has made it very important that he wants those kinds of guys on the team, because I think that it makes it all special. I think they're great ball players, number one, but I think that he's thinking big picture too about, having Neil Smith's kid on the team and having Tim Carpenter's, kid on the team and Damon Benning's son on the team. I think that those are huge talking points to go along with them all being great players and all being very D1 capable.
And it seems like Nebraska's had some pretty good success in convincing or having kids listen to that calling to come to Nebraska. And that leads me to believe, Brian, that Nebraska has identified which of these student athletes, need that little push in the follow the footsteps, follow the legacy directions, and which one to take the tack of, we know about you because of your dad, but we know you're not your dad, right? From your conversations with parents and the student athletes, is that a fair assumption that Nebraska has handled those conversations pretty tactfully?
I would say so. I mean, I think that that's a very fair assessment. I think that generally speaking, the legacy guys that have come up here since the 2024 class, however, have been exceptional. I mean, the guys that are in the 2024 class, like Raiola and Benning and Buford, I mean, those are some of the top guys at their positions. I mean, there's no doubt about it. I mean, Quinn Clark, I mean, he's already getting a bunch of kudos, what's going on up there. I mean, a guy that gets kind of lost because he played in Montana. I couldn't tell you the last guy Nebraska recruited out of the state of Montana that wasn't named Quinn Clark. So, I mean, I do feel like that they can separate that, away from, okay, you're a legacy guy, but you may not be Big Ten caliber, and they have not had, in my opinion, necessarily that guy kind of come up since Matt Rule got to Nebraska. And I don't know necessarily if it ever will, because I don't know if it'll ever bubble up enough, to our conversations or whatever. But I feel like they've done a good enough job to vet it all. I think the legacy is part of the decision to make the offer, but I don't think it's the key when it comes to Matt Rule. I think he just knows what those families are like based on the things that they have gotten when they got into the process. And I think with a guy like Quinn Clark, I mean, who had to earn his offer at camp, it's like, oh yeah, well, man, your dad, I guess he did play running back here. I mean, it's one of those things where it's it's almost like an asterisk. Hey, dad played at Nebraska too, like one of those deals. So I think for the other ones, it's kind of been a bigger part of the process, but for him, it's like, hey, he had to come in and kind of prove himself, that there wasn't just an offer automatically there because of his father.
And I feel like that's an important distinction and point to make, because I think there are a lot of Nebraska fans out there, Brian, who are still in the boat of, you have to lock down all the in-state talent. You have to get all the legacy kids because bring back the 90s. And, I get it. You want to copy success, but also college football grows, evolves, changes, and not all of these student athletes are their dad or their uncle that played before them.
Yeah. No, and I think in the reverse light, that they have to make sure that Nebraska is similar to the Nebraska that they played at before, because I think it's been 20, 25 years for some of these guys to, I mean, Carp was part of the 97 team, and that was basically his last year there. So you're talking about 27 years since he's been on campus, suited up for the Big Red, and a lot of things have happened. A lot of things have changed, right there at the very end of his career. Tom Osborne, decided to retire. And ever since then, there's been some disarray. And you have to have a feeling that things are generally pointed in the right direction, that the brotherhood, to basically steal his comment, the brotherhood is still there, or it's coming back. And I think that has to be a feeling, to obviously then kind of even suggest, that Nebraska could be the right place too. And I think that's the part there that Matt Rule had to fix in such a quick, short amount of time, is the culture. And there'd be no way, I think, a couple of those guys end up in Nebraska if the culture was still broken.
Care to name names?
What's that?
Care to name names?
No. I mean, I'm talking about the way things kind of happen behind the scenes,
gotcha.
and just generally speaking, just how things work end to end. I think you have to feel good about the whole entire process and end to end, and just like what those guys did. And I think that's basically what it comes down to. I think that they had to feel good that things are generally back on the right path, and I think that's where I think people should, if they were taking things away, they would see that and vote and see that as a huge vote from the alum that things are generally pointing in the right direction underneath Matt Rule.
Last thing then, Brian, you've thrown a lot of names out there for these legacy players on Nebraska's roster. We're going to exclude Dylan Raiola from this conversation for, I think, pretty obvious reasons, at least projecting forward. But who are 2 or 3 other legacy commits on Nebraska's roster right now that you feel the best about making some sort of on-field impact in their time at Nebraska?
Yeah, no, I think people should start paying attention to Quinn Clark. I think that he has gone overlooked. I think he's an under-the-radar athlete because he was also a high jumper, and he's got tremendous length already. So I think that makes him very, very interesting. I don't know how people couldn't suggest Caleb Benning. I mean, he obviously had a heck of a career at Omaha West Side, and I think that he could see his way basically onto the football field potentially as a punt returner as a true freshman. I mean, I think that's a possibility. And then I think Mario Buford, he's an interesting cat. I saw him play at DeSoto a couple times last fall. Super long, super physical. Played for what is this year the number 2 team in the country, according to On3. So, I mean, they have got some dudes. Let me tell you something. They got 2 offensive tackles. Well, I think that they're trying to get the other guy qualified, or eligible. But the one offensive tackle, I swear to you, he is the biggest human being I've ever seen in all of my life. He's 6'9", 6'10", and like 350. And I have
in high school.
I played football with the guy that's on Fox, George Murdoch.
Yeah.
So Brodus. So I played with him at UNK, and I've seen big dudes before, but that guy right there, he was a full, it felt like a full helmet taller than I was. I mean, that dude was and I thought I was looking at it weird. Nope, I saw it just fine. And he is a massive human being.
Hey, Brian, one quick question, because I've had this discussion with Austin and sometimes internally where you have guys like Teddy Proska. When you have guys that size at the position, there's some benefits to it, but then there can also be some negatives that can come out of it, being that, leverage, getting under the pads, just all these different things. How does that work? Or have you seen somebody with that type of size at the next level that has had tremendous success? Can you name me a couple that would, help my mind to feel a little bit better when you're talking about that type of size at a tackle position?
Not that height.
Yeah.
I mean, you're absolutely correct. I mean, it comes down to form. You've got to be a knee bender. You can't be a waist bender. You can get really sloppy really, really quick, because a lot of times with lesser competition that's not used to going up against a guy with that height, you can be dominant. But if you got some guys that can really work the ghost, and really get you on your back feet and into your back pedal a lot, and you're not able to set an anchor on him, and it can get into your pads and drive you, it can get really bad really quick. So yeah, I can't think of too many guys that honestly. There was a kid that played for Arkansas quite a few years back now, probably 10 or 15 years back. I had to cover him for Super Prep, and I think he was a 6'10" guy. It was the first time I've ever heard of anybody that size, that length, playing that position. But honestly, I don't remember his name for a good reason. He never went on to do anything. I mean, I think Robert Gallery was a pretty big dude, but I'm not sure Gallery had a very great career with the Oakland Raiders at all. So might have been the Los Angeles Raiders as far back as that goes. But no, length at that position, that's why they tend to kind of be in a range. I would say that 6'4.5" to kind of 6'6", 6'7" is kind of pressing it, and that's usually the range I think that you're going to find there. I think people exaggerate the offensive tackle height a lot in the NFL. Been in the elevator with one from the Dallas Cowboys. He wasn't as tall as what you thought he would have been. So yeah, it's interesting. I think if you go out there and look at the starting offensive tackle height, I think you're going to find more in that 6'4", 6'5" range.
It's Brian Munson of Husker Online with the insight here every Monday at 3:30. Make sure you check his workout at Husker Online and at Brian Munson _ on Twitter. Brian, as always, appreciate your time. Happy College Football Week 0. How interested are you in this weekend slate?
It gets started, man. We got to get interested now, right? It's here, so I'm very interested about it getting started. And but yeah, it's week 0, but it's back. It's back.
We made it. Brian, as always, thanks a ton, man. Appreciate your time.
Later, guys.
Brian joined us on our VIP line, brought to you by Aloe Fiber, where they understand the importance of exceptional service with local heart. And hey, look at that, Stricky. Once again, you're right. Not many guys that height.
Yeah.
Pull through. So
see, y'all think Stricky just be throwing stuff out there. I just show me. I mean, let me see some receipts. I'm glad Brian Munson is one of those guys that has a good idea. He brings receipts.
And of course, we don't say that to denigrate Teddy Prohaska. We wish the best for him in his rehab. The odds were just always against him. So I hope he makes it back healthy and prosperous and successful in, whatever the next steps are for him. We'll go to break, cross it over with Old School to wrap up On the Block right after this.
Have you been told by your physician that your testosterone level is fine, but you don't feel fine? Get a second opinion. If your testosterone level is 200, 350, even 500, and you still have symptoms, come to Limitless Male. We treat the person and the symptoms, not the number. Our mission is for you to feel optimal again. So if you're tired all the time, no energy, brain fog, muscle loss, nothing left in the tank, get your free consult at limitlessmail.com.
Perch Merch is your one-stop shop for all your printing and promotional needs in Lincoln, Nebraska. They specialize in screen printing, embroidery, vehicle wraps, window wraps, print collateral, promotional products, and signage. At Perch Merch, they are committed to delivering high-quality products and exceptional customer service. Their experienced team of designers and printing professionals will work with you every step of the way to ensure that your vision is realized. Call for a quote today at 402-217-5212 or go to perch-merch.com.
As a proud member of the Roofing and Solar Reform Alliance, Coalition Restoration stands out by providing thorough property assessments, personalized customer service, and top-notch craftsmanship. With years of experience in the industry, Coalition Restoration has built a notable reputation for having a team filled with skilled professionals and possessing the expertise to handle any roofing project, big or small. Visit their website today for a free roof assessment at www.coalitionrestoration.com or give them a call at 402-607-8186.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just the professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, our passion. For happier, healthier furry friends.
Hey Husker Nation, this is Todd Euler, two-time national champion, here to talk to you about Window World Lincoln. At Window World, we specialize in replacement windows, doors, siding, and roofing. Whether you're looking to enhance the beauty of your home or increase its energy efficiency, we've got you covered. And here's the best part. We offer the best for less. Our team is dedicated to providing top quality products and exceptional service at affordable prices. We want to earn your business and make your home improvement dreams a reality. So why wait? Contact Window World Lincoln today at 464-7313 or visit our website at windowworldlincoln.com. Window World Lincoln, where quality meets affordability.
Ever wish you had another light switch on the other side of the room on a dark night? How much better would you sleep at night if you had a ceiling fan in your room? The High Electric Service Department is here to make your electrical what-ifs a reality. Whether you're looking to replace some outdated light fixtures or brighten up your counters with under-cabinet lighting, High Electric can handle all types of residential electrical installations and services. Give Erica a call at 402-466-6606 or visit high-electric.com to get started.
If you're a homeowner or a business owner, you have a lot of projects, and no one has an unlimited budget or time. Sunbelt Rentals makes all jobs less stressful with no need to purchase large equipment or hire a crew. You can do it yourself with rentals and everything from aerators and power rakes for spring yard work to stump grinders, concrete mixers, tile saws, and more. Check out their inventory in Lincoln, north of Cornhusker Highway on 56th Street, or online at sunbeltrentals.com.
It's the fall sports season, and that means that the school year is back in session and you're planning road trips for Nebraska football games and following your kids around to their different events. Stop telling yourself you'll upgrade your car someday and do it now. Mullen Motors lot is full of great vehicles to take home so you don't have to worry about your current car struggling through another season. Come check out their lot just north of 48th and Lake and find your next ride. As your fall schedule gets busy, you'll need a reliable way to get to your destinations. Mullen Motors.
No taglines, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Summer concerts keep rolling at Pinewood Bowl with a great show on Wednesday, August 21st. Blue October headlines a trifecta of artists with Switchfoot and Matt Nathanson starting things off. Don't miss Blue October, Switchfoot, and Matt Nathanson on Wednesday, August 21st at Pinewood Bowl. Get tickets today at Ticketmaster.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in, temperature-controlled, high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for wine, beer, spirits, and cigars. Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket. Now back to On the Block with Strick and Austin on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
We're wrapping up On the Block here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Around the horn, Austin Norman, Eric Strickland, and DP. DP, how's your weekend?
What's weekend? What is this weekend thing you speak of?
Someone was a little bit early to the old school party and texted in and asked us which zoo you ended up going to.
We actually didn't get the zoo. We actually went to dinner a couple of times, and we went to Salt Dogs Friday night.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to Charlie Meyer, Brett Jody,
Y'all sit
the
outside?
skipper. Yeah, the skipper.
The
We
weather
actually
was
sat next
beautiful.
to the dugout.
Yeah.
Coach Jody took care of young man. You know,
As he
took some pictures and game ball and made an official. And then Homer, of course, was super kind to him. So it was a really good night.
Nice.
It was a good night. They had their week finished strong.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, that's always beautiful when you get a chance. I mean, because I'm going to get a chance to spend time with my daughter coming up. It's her 21st birthday. It'll be coming up next week. And it's the 25th, but we're going to celebrate it on that weekend. But it's a beautiful thing when you get to celebrate these specific moments with them and have that time. And
Well, his 10th birthday is today. And,
Hey, happy birthday,
They
young
went to
fella.
the cave. They went to the caves.
Yeah.
So that was what they did instead of the zoo. Which, for spiritual, they're both spiritual folks. So that was kind of a thing for them that landed. So yeah, it's good.
Awesome.
It was good. It was a good week.
That's awesome. Back to sports here real quickly. NFL players in the Olympics in flag football. They're trying to stake their claim to make their appearances. Well, Team USA flag football's quarterback, Daryl Doucette, said, I think it's disrespectful that they, NFL players, just automatically assume they're able to just join the Olympic team because of the person that they are. They didn't help grow this game to get to the Olympics. Give the guys who helped this game get to where it's at their respect. Are you buying Team USA flag football in, or are you buying Team NFL players, best of the best, playing flag football at the Olympics in 2028?
You wild. Bro, you wild. That's so there's pro softball, right? And there are guys who just rake, right? Who go out, hit softballs. You're hitting unrestricted flight softballs 350 like you're a monster. And you think you're a monster in real life until an actual monster shows up. and you go and watch Jose Canseco go plus 75 on your maximum swing, he just consumes the ball, and you do, or as I said, I thought I was pretty quick, pretty athletic, until 40-year-old me against 40-year-old Dion and 40-year-old Darryl Green. And while I was fast for most mortals on the planet, they beat me in the 40 running backwards. Like you're all a shark until you're in shark water.
Yeah.
Softball. Listen, flag football, dude. They helped grew the sport because nobody cared about flag football if it wasn't for real football. The reason why you have to put a disclaimer on the flag football is because it's not as good as actual football.
Which officially starts this week. Let's throw that out there again.
Like,
to week 0.
I don't know. You're gonna flag football guy's gonna tell Joe Montana how to throw. You're gonna tell Patrick Mahomes how to throw a football. Hey, bro, no, you're not. No, you're not. Your receiver, the dude who runs the 4.7 40. He's not gonna tell Tyreek Hill how to run a bang 8. Like, stop it. I get it, but stop it.
Right. That's just the part. Like, I get it. You've been investing your time, your effort into this new sport. You're not really a pioneer, but I guess if you want to claim like slight pioneer status, I'll give you a little bit. And as tough as it is to say, hey, you've put in all this work, you've won these world championships, not at the Olympics. Thanks for that. Now go sit on the curb and watch like everyone else. People are going to tune in to watch Patrick Mahomes throw to Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill, and Justin Jefferson on a world stage, and that's going to grow the game of football.
Yeah, like I didn't quite, like, you go through that. You went through it. WNBA went through it. That, well, we don't want to give Caitlin and Angie, we don't want to give Reese, like, we don't want to give them credit, but you have to give them credit because that's how you grow the game at the top level. And you can tell me grassroots works, but no, it doesn't. That's why it's still grassroots. That's why it's still local, bro. Nobody
tell me this, DP.
Yeah.
Let me give you a visual.
Yeah.
You're sitting around the radio.
You're sitting in a bar.
Yes.
Yeah, that's nothing rare.
Yeah.
You're sitting in a bar, having a good time. Things is happening around you.
Yeah.
And a model comes in.
Uh-huh.
She's attractive.
Yeah.
And she happens to be Miss Nebraska.
Right.
Okay.
Fair.
You know her, may know her, maybe not.
Yeah.
You take a look, an attractive woman. Now, Holly Berry comes in there.
And
there's a different type of vision you put on that.
I can't even say Miss Nebraska's name.
Right? Right? So I'm saying it's an attractive thing.
You know what you say? Can you go and get Miss Berry whatever she needs?
That's what I'm talking about. What Austin just said with Mahomes, with Kelce. And that's like having Holly Berry walk in and sit right down next to you.
It's a different, like, and I'm a member of. It's a different game. It's a different game, but it's like the same thing as 7-on-7.
Yeah,
because you're a good receiver in 7-on-7 doesn't mean that you can cross the middle with Ray and Nuck sitting in the middle of hash mark waiting for you.
That part.
It's not the same thing. And while flag football has its own little
intricacies,
right,
rules
like little
and
things
that,
that play into it. The things that the less talented person could figure out, the elite one would figure out in that space.
Quicker.
I mean, and again, that's like telling me you are a flag football All-American, semi-pro or pro All-American. And then Darryl Green and Deion Sanders walked out and play corner. And you think that's going to work? No, it'll look like Robin Williams from the football movie. No, bro. No, it looked like you out there doing a temptation step.
You out there like
and
Rudy.
hey, listen, like, no, and that's not to be disrespectful to the best flag football players in the world, because I've been in that space where, again, if I played on back-to-back state champion flag football teams in the state of Virginia, and it was great until you went to nationals. Like, we were really good for the state of Virginia. I mean, we went against dudes from Tech, Richmond, Virginia. Cool. Until you went down and faced them dudes from Georgia. And them dudes from Georgia were 6'5", 215 pounds, running a 4.5 40. And that stuff that you was doing in Richmond, Virginia, wouldn't work.
Well, and I think we can have the same conversation too with 3-on-3, right? That was the
100%.
conversation after the Olympic team was named. Jaylen Brown not on it, and it was Stricky's boy Kyrie, Jalen Brunson, Spida Cooper, Nate, go up and down the list. I get it. They're different games. They're separate entities. It's not like it's both Team USA, but it's separate umbrellas under the same big umbrella. So I get why the 3-on-3 would want to be its own thing and have its own feeder system. But gosh darn, basketball's America's game. Football's America's game. If you're going to go to a world stage, dominate your game. Get the best players in there.
So you're telling me that there are people that actually believe the less son of Rick Barry would be better at 3-on-3 than Kyrie Irving.
No disrespect.
That's what you're trying to. You're literally trying to tell me that Jalen Brunson, Kyrie Irving, and Jaylen Brown wouldn't destroy whoever went to the Olympics for the United States. Like, stop it. You just I get. Okay, fine. If you take the all-state players in basketball and then you gave them to Nebraska's bottom 3 basketball players, they're the same dude. Like, they're the same. Like, Caleb's a baller. He put up 40 in the state championship game. He was at the end of the Nebraska roster. Like, it's the same thing. I get that you want to give credit for what you're accomplishing in that space. That's why it exists. It's a different space for us mortals to compete. But the reality is, Kyle Perry was a really good Big Ten pitcher. You don't think that if you went and got the last dude on
the Oakland Athletics bench,
you're right,
Chicago White Sox,
like
bench.
literally, we've seen the guys who are at the top. If Schwellenbach and Kyle are pitching side by side, you see the difference. That's all we're saying. There's a difference between us mortals and them aliens.
Yeah. So Downtown Scott says on the Sutter Heyman text line 402-464-5685, all of this conversation just reiterated that flag football in the Olympics will be a joke.
Well, it doesn't have to be if the powers that be get it right. And getting it right is really a thing where if you said, we're going to take college, give me this year's college senior quarterback and his 4 receivers, right? And you put them in the Olympics that year with the 4 defensive backs from Michigan or Ohio State. I think you're going to be okay. You don't have to send the NFL's best. You don't have to send Pro Bowlers. But if you sent last year's college All-Americans at those positions and sent them to the Olympics, they would, first of all, they wouldn't give up a point. And second of all, they would score all the points.
Just kind of the objective of the game last I checked.
Right. I mean, like, literally, if you just, like, stop it. I know you can overthink it, but you're not that dude. It's cool. You won the arena title. Okay, fine. Okay. Does that mean you're guaranteed to win a Super Bowl? Only once, ever. Ever.
Yeah.
Stop it.
It was easy. More people would do it. So,
yeah.
It's been a good show. Great start to the week here during On the Block. Should be a good Tuesday in store for you. 2:45, shoot out with Strick. See if the champ can get back in the building. We'll play tomorrow. Big thanks to Nebco, Starter, Heyman, Allo, all our wonderful sponsors here during On the Block. Don't go anywhere. We got Old School with DP. Jay Foreman in at 5 right after this. Constructors is now hiring for all positions, with laborers starting